Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Mike B, aka Hoodie Mike, back with some horrible news as WWE decided to do their annual release, and we got a bunch of wrestlers, male and female, that just got released by the company. I'm gonna talk about it. I was gonna give you guys my prediction where I think these guys and girls may land. All that when we get back from the intro. So, like I said before, WWE did the annual releases. We got a handful of superstars that have been released. First up, we got AOP, we got Akam and Rizard and Paul Erlin, which this to me was a shocking. They was released yet again from the company. They was in the group with Karrion Cross, the final testament, which you can say they really were just muscle for Karrion Cross. And anytime you see Karrion Cross on television, he was really solo. So it was just shocking because I always felt like the AOP had potential to be a dominant tag team. It's like I feel like they get these dominant tag team like you got the Viking Raiders, now you got AOP, and they kind of don't know what to do with them because you want to book them as dominant, but you also want to show some other people some shine too. But I feel like they could have really had at least one dominant run with the tag team champions in WWE. You can't say they don't have the mic skill, but that's why they had Paul Erlin to be the mouthpiece for them. So I think a group like this can end up probably in AEW. I can see Tony Khan taking the fly on them to see what he can do with them. But honestly, I think they would be perfect down in TNA. I said this before. TNA got the best tag team division throughout wrestling. I feel like they really highlight their tag team divisions a lot. And the match against them and the Hardys or them and the Rascals, it would be nice, man. So I think AEW, but I'm going to say TNA. I think TNA could take a fly on them. Next up, we got Blair Davenport. Really didn't do too much on their main roster. Was solid in NXT. This didn't come to me as a shocker, even though they could use more women wrestlers. I can't say where I can see her going, but if I had to choose, I would probably say TNA. I think she'll do some good things in TNA. In TNA knockout division. Just how her look, the gimmick is. I think she can do some things in Blair. But I think Blair Davenport can do some things in TNA as well. Next up, we got Cedric Alexander, one of the best wrestlers in wrestling. I always enjoy Cedric Alexander. I would love to see him reunite with Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate. So that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say AEW, even though yet again he could be a huge problem in the TNA X division, but I think Bobby Lashley will give that man a call, and I think he could end up reuniting with the Hurt Syndicate. So I'm gonna go AEW. I can't keep saying TNA for all these wrestlers. Next up, Sonya Deville, who was also in a faction with Starks and Shayna Baszler. Uh, I honestly don't know where Sonya Deville can land. I feel like she's talented, mic skills, solid. So WWE never really gave her a proper run. They always thrown her with a tag team wrestler. Uh, I don't know. What do I think Sonya Deville can end up at? Hmm. I want to say I think she'll be back. I think she'll be back in WWE down the line. I think right now they're trying to get their budget right, and whatever they got left over, I think they may swing the block and re-sign some of these wrestlers. I feel like now they're trying to make way from potential Aleister Black. We've seen Ricky Stark show up in NXT Tuesday night. So I think they're trying to get a couple of signees signed. Once that over with, they may spin a block on some of these wrestlers. Next up, excuse me, we got Gio Vinci, he can go in the ring. I just feel like he needs the right character, and I don't think he can get that in AEW, maybe TNA. But I think he maybe a New Japan will fit him perfectly. He can go out there and showcase his wrestling skills. So I'm gonna go and say New Japan Pro Wrestling for Gio. Next up, we got one half of Fire and Ice, Isla Dawn. This came as a shocking when WWE really need women's tag team, and how you release one of your good women's tag team in Isla Dawn. So I don't know, but I think Isla Dawn will be back in the future. I think that there's another one of WWE will spin the block and have re-sign her as well. So next up, we got Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Good Brothers. Hell of a tag team. Super disappointed WWE run. Never really got that highlighted tag team championship run that I thought they should deserve. Especially linked up with AJ Styles or Finn Balor. They just never really lived up to what I thought they could be in WWE. But I think the perfect spot for them is not AEW. It's TNA. Go down there and mix up with those tag team down there in TNA. I would love to see those two go off against the Hardys. So I hope they go to TNA, but I can see them making an appearance in AEW and doing some things down there too. But I think TNA would be perfect for those guys in that tag team division. Next up, we got Elektra Lopez. This came to another shock to me, but she's not really a she's an okay wrestler, but she's a great manager. So I can see WWE returning and her returning to WWE as a manager down the line. So those are the releases. What your guys' thoughts and opinion about it? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, drop where you think these guys would end up at. So yeah, sucks to see people get released, but I know nowadays like the wrestling ecosystem is so huge where it's a lot of places these guys and girls can go sign, build up that credibility, and potentially get back with the company. We see it done plenty of times, a la Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, who's probably the top two biggest I can think of that went away and came back bigger than they left, and still at the top. Cody Rhodes is one of the biggest names in WWE. Drew McIntyre came off the best year to me in WWE as a wrestler last year in 2024. He was my MVP for last year. So it's not always over with. Once a big company like WWE release you, you can always build your name up, and they'll end up calling you again because money talk, and you've seen it happen in the past. So